An old man, a giant fish, and the fight of his life. This is one of the greatest stories ever written, and today I'm going to tell it to you in simple English. I'm Tony from Fluent English Cafe, and for the next while, you're going to forget you're learning English. You're just going to listen to an incredible story. By the end, you will understand why this story won a Nobel Prize, and you'll have practiced your English without even realizing it. If you want more stories like this in simple English, hit that subscribe button right now. You won't regret it. Let's begin. His name was Santiago. He was an old fisherman. He lived alone in a small house by the sea in Cuba. Every morning he woke up in the dark. He walked to the beach. He got into his small boat, and he went fishing. But Santiago had a problem. He hadn't caught a fish in 84 days. 84 days. That's almost 3 months. Other fishermen laughed at him. They thought he was unlucky. They thought his luck was gone forever. Santiago's hands were old. His face had deep lines from the sun. His neck had wrinkles from years of looking at the sea. But his eyes were different. They were the color of the sea, and they were still young. They were still hopeful. There was one person who still believed in Santiago, a boy. His name was Marlin. When Marlin was young, Santiago taught him how to fish. They fished together for years. They were like family. But after 40 days without catching a fish, Marlin's parents made him fish with another boat, a boat that caught fish. But every evening Marlin still came to see Santiago. He brought him food. He brought him bait for fishing. He brought him newspapers. And they talked. About baseball. About the great DiMaggio. About fishing. One evening Marlin said, "Tomorrow I will come with you." Santiago shook his head. "No, you must stay with your boat. They catch fish." "I don't care about fish," Marlin said. "I want to fish with you." Santiago smiled, but he said no. That night, Santiago went to bed early. He dreamed about Africa. He dreamed about the beaches where he went as a young man. He dreamed about lions playing on the sand. He always dreamed about lions. Before the sun came up, Santiago awoke. It was dark. The stars were still in the sky. He walked to his boat. He put his equipment inside: the lines, the harpoon, the water, the bait. Marlin was waiting for him. "I told you to sleep," Santiago said. "I wanted to help you," Marlin said. Together they pushed the boat into the water. Santiago rowed out, away from the land, away from the other boats. The sun began to rise. The sky turned pink, then orange, then blue. Santiago rowed far, farther than the other fishermen, farther than he had gone in weeks. "Today," he said to himself, "today will be different." He loved the sea. He always thought of the sea as la mar. This is Spanish. It means the sea, but it's like saying she, like the sea is a woman. Some fishermen thought of the sea as an enemy, but not Santiago. The sea was beautiful, sometimes kind, sometimes cruel, but always beautiful. Santiago put his lines in the water, deep lines with bait. Then he waited. He watched the lines. He watched the birds. He watched the water. Hours passed. The sun was hot. Santiago's shirt was wet with sweat. Then, suddenly, one line moved. Santiago grabbed it. He felt something pulling, something big. His heart beat faster. He pulled the line carefully. He didn't want to lose it. But the fish didn't come up. The fish pulled down, deeper into the water. Santiago held the line tight. The line cut into his hands. This was not a normal fish. This was something huge. The fish began to swim. It pulled the boat. Santiago couldn't stop it. The fish was stronger. So Santiago held on, and the fish pulled him out to sea, away from land, away from everything. Hours passed. The sun moved across the sky. Still the fish pulled. Santiago's hands hurt. His back hurt. But he didn't let go. "Fish," he said out loud, "I will stay with you until I die." Night came. The stars appeared. The moon rose. Still the fish pulled the boat. Santiago couldn't sleep. He couldn't let go of the line. If he let go, the fish would escape. So he tied the line to his body. He held it with his hands. He felt every movement of the fish. His hands were bleeding now. The line cut deep into his skin. But he didn't care. "Fish," he said, "you are strong, but I am strong too." He talked to the fish like it was a friend, like it was a brother. "I will kill you," he said, "but I respect you. You are noble. You are beautiful." The night was long. Santiago felt tired. His body ached everywhere, but he didn't let go. When the sun rose again, Santiago saw the fish for the first time. It jumped out of the water. It was a marlin, a giant marlin. It was longer than his boat. Its body was silver and blue. It shined in the sun like a sword. Santiago had never seen a fish so beautiful. "I must kill you," he said, "but I wish I didn't have to." The fish went back underwater. It kept swimming. It kept pulling. Another day passed. Santiago had no food, no water. His lips were cracked. His body was weak. But still he held the line. He thought about the boy. He thought about baseball. He thought about the lions in Africa. "I must be strong," he said. "I must not give up." On the third day, the fish began to get tired. It swam slower. It came closer to the boat. Santiago pulled the line, slowly, carefully. His hands were shaking. His body screamed with pain, but he kept pulling. Finally, the fish came close, very close. Santiago picked up his harpoon. His hands were weak, but his aim was true. He threw the harpoon with all his strength. It hit the fish, right in the heart. The fish jumped high out of the water. Then it fell back down. Blood poured into the sea. The fish was dead. Santiago tied the fish to the side of his boat. It was so big, it was longer than the boat. He looked at the fish. He felt sad. He felt proud. He felt exhausted. "I killed the greatest fish I have ever seen," he said, "but now I must bring it home." He raised his small sail. The wind pushed him. Slowly he began to sail back toward land. But the battle was not over. The blood from the fish went into the water, and sharks could smell it. An hour later, Santiago saw the first shark. It was a mako shark, big, fast, dangerous. It swam straight toward the marlin. Santiago grabbed his harpoon. When the shark got close, he stabbed it. The shark died, but it took a piece of the marlin with it. Santiago felt angry. "That fish was mine," he said. But more sharks came. 2 sharks, then 3, then more. They attacked the marlin. They bit big pieces of meat. Santiago fought them. He stabbed them with the harpoon. He hit them with the oar. He hit them with anything he could find. But there were too many sharks. One shark broke his harpoon. Now Santiago had no weapon, only a knife tied to an oar. Still he fought. The sharks kept coming, all through the afternoon, all through the night. By the time Santiago got close to land, the marlin was almost gone. The sharks had eaten everything. Only the head and the bones were left. Santiago looked at what remained of his fish. Tears came to his eyes. "They beat me," he said. "They destroyed my fish." But he kept sailing, back to the harbor, back to his small village. It was late at night when Santiago arrived. He was so tired he could barely stand. He tied his boat to the dock. He took his equipment. He started to walk home, but he was too weak. He had to stop many times. He had to rest. His body had nothing left. Finally, he reached his house. He fell onto his bed, and he slept. The next morning, fishermen came to the dock. They saw Santiago's boat. They saw the skeleton of the marlin tied to the side. They couldn't believe it. They measured the fish. From nose to tail, it was 18 feet long, maybe more. "I have never seen a fish this big," one fisherman said. "Santiago caught this?" another asked. They all looked at the skeleton with respect. Marlin came running. He went to Santiago's house. He saw the old man sleeping. Santiago's hands were cut and bleeding. His face looked tired and old. Marlin sat next to him. Tears ran down his face. When Santiago woke, Marlin was there. "They destroyed my fish," Santiago said. "It doesn't matter," Marlin said. "You caught the greatest fish anyone has ever seen." Santiago smiled weakly. "I must get you food," Marlin said. "I must take care of you." "What will your family say?" Santiago asked. "I don't care," Marlin said. "I am fishing with you again. I don't care what they say." Santiago felt happy, not because of the fish, because the boy was back. "We will fish together," Marlin said. "We will catch big fish. I will bring you luck." Santiago nodded. Then he closed his eyes. And he dreamed. He dreamed about the lions in Africa, young lions playing on white beaches. He was smiling. That was The Old Man and the Sea, written by Ernest Hemingway. It's a simple story. An old man catches a big fish, then loses it to sharks. But it's about so much more than that. It's about never giving up, even when everything is against you. It's about fighting with dignity, with honor, with respect. Santiago lost his fish, but he didn't lose his spirit. He went 84 days without catching anything, but he kept going. He fought sharks all night, but he never stopped fighting. And in the end, he won something more important than a fish. He won his pride, he won his dignity, he won the respect of everyone who saw what he caught. Hemingway wrote this story in simple English, short sentences, simple words, but it won him the Nobel Prize. Because great stories don't need complicated words. They need truth, they need emotion, they need heart. And this story has all of that. Here's what you can learn from Santiago. When life is hard, keep going. When people laugh at you, keep going. When you're tired and bleeding and everything hurts, keep going. Because the fight itself is what makes you strong. The struggle is what gives you dignity. Santiago could have given up after 40 days, after 60 days, after 80 days, but he didn't. And that's why we remember him. Now, I want to ask you something. What are you fighting for right now? Maybe you're fighting to learn English. Maybe you're fighting for a better job. Maybe you're fighting for your dreams. Whatever it is, don't give up. Be like Santiago. Keep your line in the water. Keep fighting. Keep going. Because even if the sharks come, even if you lose everything, you'll still have your dignity. You'll still have your spirit. And nobody can take that away from you. Before you go, I want to say thank you for listening to this story with me. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to Fluent English Cafe. We're going to tell more stories like this, stories that help you practice English and inspire you at the same time. And leave a comment. Tell me what you learned from Santiago. Tell me what you're fighting for. I read every comment, and I want to hear from you. Thanks for being here. I'm Tony. Keep fighting, keep learning, keep going. See you next time.